Hello guys, welcome back to our yet another episode of Youth Baraza, Less Voice Podcast. I'll be your host Amir Muhammad Asmara, and today niko na guest wazuri, guest ambao wanajitambua, ambao wanajielewa katika masuala ya effects of social media, the toxic effect of social media. So siko peke yangu, tuanze on my right and on my left. Sasa nitaanza on my right.
Ladies first, Amir. Thank you. My name is Rajab Salim, popularly known as Malenga 001, community engagement and development enthusiast, radio host, writer, actor, and a Swahili poet. I'm humbled and honored to be here.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Ilham Fairuz, and I'm the ICT Officer of Nurturing Stars Organization. I'm also an alumni of Polytechnic Girls Organization, and also a web developer and a web designer. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Hafidha Ahmed. I'm a counselling psychologist, a coach and a trainer from Growthbridge Counselling and Coaching. I'm a lead consultant there. Thank you.
So before we dive deep into the conversation, the topic, the topics na kujieleza kama to the flow. So tueleze kama you experience the toxic effect of social media.
Actually, I have experienced toxicity, social media toxicity for a very long time. I have suffered depression. I have suffered anxiety from social media. And if we were having this conversation about 3 months ago, I was totally not available on social media. I quit social media for about 2 years. I had lost myself terribly. I made permanent decisions, damaging decisions on social media, based and influenced by social media. And actually, it's a very personal topic for me. Yes.
Yeah, so you brought the right person.
You brought the right person.
Okay, so on my side, I've not experienced it like directly, but I've had people, like I've seated with people who have experienced the toxicity of social media. Like nimekaa nao, nimeona the impact, the mental health issues and everything, but not directly to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Rajab.
Yeah, not much, but nakumbuka I've been a victim at some point. The 2017 general elections, there was a time I was simply sharing my opinion or about a certain candidate. You know, I was just saying they have to have better oratory skills, wajue kuongea na electorates wao. And I was attacked. But it was people that were paid to attack me.
Oh.
So that was the first time it happened to me, but it was very big. But that only meant my opinion mattered.
Yeah.
So that is what I've learned from social media. Wale ambao watakuja kukuvamia ni kwa sababu wanajua wewe sauti yako ina kitu, ama wewe kitu ambacho wafanya ni kikubwa. Na nikasema ukipakwa matope usijishughulishe kuyafuta. Yaache akauke atanguka yenyewe.
Sawa. Ndo maneno mazito. So another question. Sote to experience na tunaona the impact, lakini to the audience there ama watu ambao wako nje, they don't know the little impacts. Ama mtu anaona ni kitu kidogo kuchukua kamera, kukampea na kuingia kwa social media, ama just posting ama commenting on someone's page. They don't know the repercussion cause kwa mtu. So labda to the flow, ni kitu gani ambao watu wanaweza kufanya kuzuia hizi mambo? Unajua, because sometimes watu wanasema ndio wanajua, lakini watu wengine hawajui, ama wanafanya tu unknowingly, ama subconsciously mtu anafanya. So what do we do kupunguza hizi vitu? Ama nini haswa huchangia mpaka ukafanya haya mambo?
Okay, so kupunguza, like yani the side ya kupunguza hizo madhara, I'll say that yani everyone should be mindful to what yani you are sharing and what you're commenting on someone's video, because you never know what that person is yani going through. mtu anaweza post like today she's happy, ameenda kazini, amefanya kazi, but you never know what is, yani mahali ametoka, hawezi kujua ni kitu gani anapitia. So like I'll tell people, always be mindful, because people don't share everything on social media. People choose what to share. So you may see someone is happy, she lives her best life, anaenda kazi, she has money and everything, and she may be fake. Maybe at home kuna vitu anapitia na hasemi. So it's good to be mindful. Kuliko umwambie mtu a negative comment, just keep quiet. And also educating everyone, like telling people this what you're doing is wrong, because watu wengine wanachukulia this negative comments and negativity as fun. Like wanaona I'm doing this, atakasirika, people will be liking my comments and everything, but in reality you are hurting that person when unampatia the negative comment. Yeah.
Why do you think people are funny?
Kwa sababu tunawapa audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mimi ukija kunikomentia kwa page yangu a negative comment about myself, kwanza sitakupa audience. I'll ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
Pili, hawa watu, if it has happened to you, ukimfuata inbox, you are mdogo sana. So what they do it for the attention and the numbers. They don't necessarily mean it. But wao yuamua leo ule Amir mimi nitamharibia siku yake. So na wewe siku yako ikiharibika, wewe ushampa nguvu. It means you can take your power back by simply ignoring them, because they will always be there. You know, ni kama mtaa. Mimi nasema social media ni kama kijiji, ama ni kama mtaa, ama ni kama community. Ukikutana na mtu akwambie hii nyumba yenu rangi yake si nzuri, basi usile hiyo siku kwa sababu mambo nyumba yenu rangi yake si nzuri. You know, you simply don't mind them.
Yeah.
But it needs someone with emotional intelligence and self-awareness and high self-esteem, which unfortunately not everyone has because of the different factors, upbringing and everything. So ni sisi tujifunze kutokuwapa wao audience.
Hafidha, kusema effects za social media zilikupata vizuri. Zilikuwa to the extent ya living social media.
Yeah.
So labda katika your ukianalyze about the things that you could push away from social media. Have you ever thought how to work on a right ya kufanyia kitu? Unajua kila mtu anasema rights to
Speech. Freedom to speak.
Yeah.
Freedom to speak.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. Do you think lazima to regulate is in a new comment ama watu wakicomment, ama do you think to regulations kwa hizi?
Okay. Well, when it comes to social media, actually kwa social media kuna watu wawili. Excuse me. Kuna those that want the power, as Rajab has mentioned, the power to attack because it makes them feel big. It makes them feel seen, right? So they cause damage when they're, putting these kind of comments out there. And then there's this other kind of people who want to be accepted, validated, and seek attention. And when it comes to regulating social media, that is almost impossible because there are over 5 billion users on social media, all platforms. And you can imagine trying to regulate 5 billion people to think a certain way or to be mindful. There is so much research on the harm of social media and technology. So much research about it, but very little research on how healthy or powerful social media can be. When it came to me, I had massive identity crisis in social media. I started using social media, I think, when I was 14 years old, in, I think, 2011 or 2012, when Facebook was then Facebook, right? And I always wanted to post. I always wanted to say things. And then, I was an adolescent. I had so much to talk about, and I always had something to share. So I constantly fed up on that for years until Instagram came, until there was Twitter, now X, and many other platforms, TikTok. And believe me, I tried everything. I tried to be a superstar. And hence the identity crisis. And you can imagine at some point when I was bullied, right, on social media, I really hoped and prayed that people could control it. But do we really have control over all those people on social media? I mean, control can be in form of controlling social media and not letting social media control you. Right? And that is a personal responsibility. It calls for a lot of, he mentioned Rajab, self-awareness. It calls for a lot of personal questioning. Why am I doing this? Why am I here in the first place? But putting it on somebody else, other governance, they've taken up the initiative of banning a few social media platforms. That is some form of control, but it only works to a certain, extent. But how effective is it even? Right. So when it comes to control, it is a lot more personal responsibility than it is for somebody else or a government or, a group of people. It calls for a lot of self-discipline when it comes to social media. The first thing almost everybody does when they wake up in the morning is what?
Phone.
Grab their phone, right?
Yeah.
So it calls for a lot of self-discipline to be able to run with social media in a very constructive way.
Ilham,
Yes.
in terms of in terms of privacy
Okay.
online,
Okay.
is it impactful na ni sawa ku raise awareness kwa online social media privacy na watu hawachukulii that serious when it comes, kila mwaka watu wana celebrate mambo ya online safety, privacy, but ni kama watu hawachukulia seriously.
Yeah.
Hawachukulia maana.
Yeah.
So do you think it is right for us to advocate more ama kutumia njia gani?
Okay. So I'd say for advocation, anyway, if you open any social media platform, like if it's your first time, unafungua a new account. Ukifika mahali ya password, unaambiwa nini? Create a very strong password, and it has letters, it has numbers, it has maybe capital letters and everything. But do people consider that? No. We do not consider. You'll just put your name, maybe your date of birth, and that is it. Sindio?
Yeah.
You make it easier for people to access your accounts and everything. Because wewe, if you followed instructions, ukianza kufollow instructions, pale eka a very strong password, no one will get to your account. So I'd say we are doing enough advocation, because at our last time we've had a TFGBV, tulikuwa na hiyo technology facilitated violence class, wakaitwa hawa ma content creators, they were there, they were taught and everything. Now what happened this year? The videos were everywhere on the social media.
Yeah.
And they were educated the same year. So you were like, what are you going even to learn? Unasoma nini? Sisi pia tunaambiwa like, be very safe. Ukienda mahali ujui, don't use the Wi-Fi. But the first thing utaingia mahali, what's
Free
the
Wi-Fi connection.
The free Wi-Fi. Those people can reach you through the free Wi-Fi you are using. Sindio?
True.
Yeah, so I think like, tunasomeshwa, tunaambiwa, this is, you should not do this is wrong, this is right. But sisi ni binadamu, we end up doing the same mistakes. But lakini tunafaa tusichoke kuwasomesha, because leo utasomeshwa, you won't listen, the next time you won't listen. But kesho ukiona mwenzako amefanyikiwa and you are being taught the same thing, maybe one day you listen. So I think, yeah, advocation is needed, like it's really, really needed. Na pia watu wajue like these things, please take them seriously. Ukiambiwa like password it should be strong, then please make it strong. Ukiambiwa don't use Wi-Fi you don't know, don't use them.
Actually, Ilham, I use the same password from 2012. I just change a few characters.
You see now, you make it easier for people to hack you.
Just change a few characters.
Inaanza kwa pale kwa terms and conditions. Watu wengi hawasomi.
Yeah, you just accept.
So mtu ana scroll anaona ndefu ya
alafu tunaambiwa accept all cookies. Hata you don't need the cookies, una accept wewe. And you expect someone to be safe. You won't be safe.
Sasa katika sote hapa tunamzee hapa. Labda tueleze how was life before the rise of
Rajab mzee.
Amir umesema mzee bana.
But sisi tumekuwa kwenye transition. Kuanzia kuna social media zikirise. Facebook, now TikTok. How was life before that?
Oh my God.
Actually, I'm not that old.
I know, right?
I feel like Facebook ilianza 2011. I remembered because that's when maybe I linked Facebook. Facebook started sisi tukiwa adolescents. So hapa in Gen Z.
Right.
For your information. But I remember zamani tukiwa hao wadogo kabla social media. Mgeni akija alikuwa yupo album ya picha. Nakumbuka?
Right.
Siku hizi mgeni akija yupo password ya wifi. Life was private I'd say. Ilikuwa more private. Ilikuwa kama hatujuani hakuna mahali utanipata. Kama hauna namba yangu nikupigie ama nikutumie message, hakuna mahali utaniona. People depended on hangouts, social interactions, dates, community gatherings. That is how life was. But hapo 2010, 2011 sisi hapa tukiwa in our adolescent age ndo zilianza. Nakumbuka kulikuwa sijui na Mig. To go.
Oh my God. I never made it to Mig.
To go. Sikutumia sana mimi pia hizo. Nazikumbuka.
I don't know about it.
You don't know about it?
No.
You don't know Mig? Oh my God.
Yeah, so I think that is how basically life was. Maisha yalikuwa watu walikuwa na depend on specific sources for information. Si kama saizi mtu aweza tweet kitu na ikaenda. Zamani ilikuwa hakuna. But pia ili limit interaction. You know, kama haujatoka weekend ukaenda beach, uko tu ndani ya nyumba, you'll speak to your siblings and your parents. But right now, waweza kuwa kwenye nyumba and you're speaking to 300 people somewhere around the world.
Right.
So that is how life was before social media. And it wasn't necessarily better or worse. It was just different. You know? Yeah.
Do you think sahi yote imeharibika because of the social media? Watu ambao wanatumia vibaya. But then ilikuwa just that the mental health watu kwa vizuri, well-being. And like being I don't know, guided by the community. Lakini sahi community yako ni social media.
Yeah.
Tap guys.
So I think that ime increase ama ndo imeleta hii madhara nyingi ya mental health.
Yes, akuwa imechangia, but siwezi sema social media solely ndo imeharibu. Sababu unlike Hafidha, I didn't try everything. In fact, if you look at most of my social media platforms, I do not have very huge following.
Okay.
People ask me, mbona Instagram yako iko chini hivi? Because I was very skeptical.
Okay.
I was very skeptical to join social media. Mimi was Facebook ndo nilianza nayo kuanzia mwanzo mpaka leo. And I'm speaking as a very big addict of Facebook. Hata saizi.
Nilitoka huko.
Sikuzi tuamboni ya wazee. But I was very skeptical kujoin Instagram, kujoin TikTok. Sababu nilikuwa naona it's not the platform for me. You know? Naona what is being discussed there probably is not for me. Which is one thing I want to bring. It is good to try things. Because you might try na it works good for you.
Okay.
But pia uko na self-control. Sababu I'd give an example, umeingia TikTok ukaona mwenzako yokata kiuno nusu uchi na wewe ujaribu. Sasa hiyo, you know? Yes. Hiyo ndo itapelekea baadaye, and we look at socialites and influencers and we want to do what they are doing.
Yeah.
So, you know? Sasa what we don't know is wao imewachukua muda mpaka Amir aamue iweza kutembea bila shati, hajaanza sahi. So wewe Rajab ambaye uko form 2 watakutembea bila shati, it's different.
Yeah.
What we don't have is the truth from these people we are looking at. Hawatuambii kwamba mimi mkiniona hivi navaa a diamond ring, it took me 10 years to get here. So wewe, if you will succumb to that pressure, it's not right. So wao wana enjoy the audience na the imitation, but they're not telling us the truth. Na hiyo sasa ndio apelekea mental health issues.
Sawa. Na mbona you consume what you share the world. Sio? Wanaambia katika social media kuna mtu ambaye yuko depressed, kuna mtu anapitia shida. Na mtu sawa.
Distorted reality.
Kila mtu yuko successful. So tumeongelea kuhusu mambo na cyberbullying, sio? Mambo na harassment kwa comments. The question that I really want to know, yani kuna kitu sitanikiriketa hapa ndani, lakini ukitoa sasa unafikiria ndio kivipi? Sahihi tumeona the rise of TikTok. Watu wengi wanatumia mtandao TikTok.
Yeah.
Na siko uzuri. Iko baya.
Tap
the screen. And recently tumeona ma challenges zinakuja. Sasa tuna the mapangale, the challenges, ndio?
Yeah.
So do you think hizi vitu unajua sasa tumeko kwa generation ambao they consume everything and they want to imitate from Malenga kusema watu tuna imitate, lakini hatujui wala watamchukua
muda gani
ngapi ama the struggles that wamepitia. So we just want to joyride katika hiyo the notion ya inapata viewers wingi na viral, sio? So hatuoni the effects kwa community ama kwa society. Do you think tunawahi sana ama tunachelewa katika kueleza ama yani kuelewa jinsi gani ina affect the society, the social media? Hafidha.
Okay. Ikija kwa social media, there's a few things that drives the people on social media. And amongst them, from psychological research, is the development of their inner child. So when it comes, I've mentioned about validation, I've mentioned about being accepted. So what are these people on social media looking for, and how to heal those things? You would find somebody is on social media because they have been misunderstood for a very long time. So they're trying to prove a point through the content they post and share on social media. You would find that somebody is on social media and they keep posting themselves 900,000 in a day, and all they do is like, but it's because they have not been liked or they have not been loved. So being on social media creates that for them. And social media, how social media operates in reciprocating our body and our nervous system, which has pathways. And amongst these pathways is serotonin and dopamine, which understands the rewarding, how the body recharges to this. I'm not sure if I am in the right direction of answering your question. So how the body reacts is when you get this heart emojis, it confirms the theory in your head that you are being loved and you're being shown attention. But then, and that is why social media keeps, now we'll talk about the posting part and the content we feed and receive. So on TikTok, on every other social media platform, there's the algorithm. So how algorithm operates is huwa inaangalia the kind of content you want and how it becomes addictive and harmful. So algorithm will keep sending you the same content over and over again that you like, and this is a drug for you. And it keeps coming and coming and coming, and you keep consuming and consuming and consuming, and your head keeps, and your nervous system keeps reacting and reacting and reacting. So you become very addicted and stimulated when you receive this kind of content, and hence the harm. And when it comes to being, now to you being the one posting, You start posting and then you get your 10 likes and then you get they grow, they get to 20 and then they get to 50 and then you get addicted to this kind of rewards that you're receiving and your dopamine levels keep shooting. And how it becomes depressing is when you see other people keep growing and growing, but yours are stuck at 54. Now your dopamine doesn't want this kind of validation because it's not enough, So you keep wanting more and you keep doing too much, and then hence now, Rajab, you want to try dancing naked. Now you want because you want to keep it going. And suddenly the pathways are not receiving enough of this. So what was your question again?
Effects for society.
Effects for society. So now you would find it drives you out of your character and how you're known by your people, by your family, by your friends, and then they also want to emulate the same kind of thing, and then it is not a one, it has, we call it, what is this, a way it affects the other person and the other person and the other person and the other person. The impact becomes it spreads to a lot of people because a lot of people want to experience this kind of thing. And I would go back to how I wanted it. I had a lot of friends back in Nairobi before I decided to change my life completely and start afresh, thanks to social media, which I am now doing so well. I have a whole career, I have a whole business. I wanted to do well like my friends on social media, right? I am a very good girl. And there was a point I wasn't a very good girl because I wanted to try out everything, right? And I'm telling you, they caused damage, permanent damages actually. So I wanted to try what my friends were trying. You're doing this? Okay, let me go. You're piercing here? Let me go pierce. So that I can create a content on this kind of thing, so that I can be trendy. And that affects the community because I have siblings. I have my cousins, they're looking, they're watching, or it's called the ripple effect. So it's a ripple effect, but then it's negative. So that's why I'm talking about self-control to minimize the damages. There's this, researchers say, for superpower technology calls for superpower consciousness, but we don't have that, do we?
Sasa watu ambao wako nyumbani kuna natazama, I believe Hafidha moja kizungu mingi.
Oh jamani.
Ile kitu najaribu kumaanisha ni kuwa we should control ourselves on social media na usiache kila kitu kikubebe na kuzoea. So before we take a commercial break, Ilham.
Yes.
Labda turahisishie mambo sasa. Labda tulaimishie kile kizungu Hafidha anaongea pale. Labda tulaimishie kidogo. To what extent?
Okay.
Wajua watu wanajiona wako mbele kidogo. But they don't understand the effects ambazo wana create kwa watu. Na anaongea na watu wangapi kama Malenga anasema ukijiona uko ndani peke yako lakini unazungumza na watu 300. So to what extent labda watu uweze kueleza watu to what extent the videos zinaenda kwa watu ama the effects na create kwa watu ama the impact number uta create kwa watu impact yani.
Okay. So like your question is like kama video ukitengeneza video, let's say sahizi we are making content here. So to what extent will this video reach people and affect some of them and maybe affect some of them positively and others negatively? So social media, as Hafidha has said, it's used by everyone in the whole world. Now if you put your content online, haina restriction that this is only for Mombasa or this is only for maybe Kisauni or this is only for Mvita. The moment you post your content online, then be sure it will go everywhere. Like mahali yoyote yenye mtu atakuwa ataona. Nowadays people use hashtags to reach any different groups of people. If you use maybe hashtags UK, your video will reach there. Even if you don't use the hashtag, it will reach there. Alafu pia nowadays people do things going with the trends. Kama like a new song imetokezea, let's say the Mapangale thing yenye imetokelezea. People in all over the world know about it because it's a trend going on. Squeezy watu wana create trends. So the more you create, you go with the trends. Wewe unataka kuwa like popular, you want to do what people are doing. You're using the pangas, dancing and everything. someone somewhere, kuna mtu mahali, maybe in China, maybe in India, anaangalia what you guys are doing. Na yule mtu maybe ndo anaanza, maybe he or she is growing. Sasa vile anaanza kuinukia, anajua like touching the pangas and dancing with it, it's okay. Because a certain country is doing it and people all over the country are doing it. So you're doing a video for yourself, maybe validating yourself, maybe umeenda mahali, people are doing something bad, I'm dancing naked as Rashid has said, and you're doing the same thing. Kuna mtu mahali hajafunzwa, so akiona kwako, you're teaching that person that this thing you're doing is okay. Because mimi nafanya, now people are liking, I have maybe 600k likes, 1.2 million likes because nime dance naked. So you'll be like, if people yani huyu amemlikia millions of likes, mimi nikifanya hivi pia I'll get the same million of likes. Na pia siku hizi, these social media platforms are paying. They are paying people to dance naked and get the likes. So kwa nini mimi sifanye and I'll get money out of it? Yeah.
It's the hard truth.
Yeah.
Tunapewa hapa. So as we said, usione unaongea peke yako kwenye kioo cha kamera yako katika simu yako, ndio unaongea na watu wengi and unawafunza watu wengi ama unapotosha watu wengi.
Very true.
So wewe leo unakaa upande gani? So we'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back. Hello guys, welcome back as we dive deeper into the topic. Na hapa tulikuwa tunazungumzia kuhusu the toxic effect of social media. So as we embark hapa kwa tunazungumza, we had a very good chat hapa before we came back. So Rajab, labda tueleze the biggest risk mtu anapitia kwa social media.
Social media ina risks nyingi, but ile ambayo mimi nimeiona kubwa sana, because I'm lucky to have people that are very big on social media that I know on a daily basis. Ile ambayo mimi nimeiona ni kubwa sana za risk ni identity crisis. Na maanisha nini? Kuna ile meme naipenda sema nyanyangu ananituma makaa juu mimi ni socialite. You know, once you have 100,000 followers on any platform, you start to think you're very big.
Yeah.
Even to your family members, even to your friends, even to your colleagues. Inaku blind at some point. Iyo, mimi napenda kuita fake fame. Sababu those 100,000 followers, kitu kupata leo, familia yako ndio itakusaidia. Wao hawakusaidii kitu. So the biggest risk, na najua kuna nyingi, ni hiyo mtu kupoteza her identity. Yani wewe wajiona ni yule, si huyu wa kila siku, ya kupelekea wewe kuishi maisha ambayo sio yako ili ufurahishe wale 100,000 followers you have. And I'm not saying everyone with a huge following is at that risk, but those that live to impress the followers. Unajua kuna watu wamepata genuinely, mtu anakufollow kwa ajili wewe ni psychologist, kwa ajili wewe nini, you don't even show your personal life. But there are those people that have a following because of their personal life that is not real. That is the biggest risk. Yani umemezwa na yale maisha ya kule. So wewe kila siku ukiamka wafikiria nitafanya nini, wale watu wa kule wafurahi. Pengine nyumbani uoshi vyombo, lakini wataka wale wa kule wakuone you are a good sister, you are a good brother. In fact, it's sad, mtu atachukua selfie apige na mamake, upload happy Mother's Day, pengine na ajiongea na mamake 2 months.
Yeah.
You know? That tells you huyo mtu ampoteza identity yake. Hajijui tena. You aishi because of people. That. Yeah.
So tumesikia jamani. To the audience ama kwa Ilham.
Okay.
I believe sote tunapitia hii. Recently tulikuwa tuna host hapa mtu katika TikTok. Akasema mimi hawezi kupiga picha wakati niko bandari. So na feel ile pressure sasa.
Yeah.
Maintain the perfect image kwa hawa watu social media. Sijui sisi hapa ambao tuko hapa tuna feel the pressure bado ama maintain that perfect image.
Okay.
Has it ever occurred to you that you want to maintain the perfect image?
Okay, the pressure is there. The pressure is there. I'm telling you. Hata ujaribu vipi, you know, like social media, people are showing you lifestyle yenye hujawahi ona. Like someone kama mimi, I may see someone, like right now I'm starting my career and everything. Kisha unaona mtu hajafika hata university, she's nowhere, she's not even working. Wewe you are working hard 24/7. Alafu yeye, she's better than you in terms of clothing, akuna a very big phone. I myself, I don't even have a phone. My phone broke, I can't even mend it and I'm working. Unaona, saa unasema like she's not working. Kwa nini ana hiyo pesa yote? Like, and she goes, leo ako CJ's, kesho wako cafe fulani in Mombasa, kesho wako huku. Wewe you are struggling with work, leo uko kazi hii, kesho uko kazi ile. So the pressure is there. The pressure will be there. You know, wewe hutofikiria, maybe she's from a very good background, maybe hujui amepata wapi, or maybe she's faking life as we are saying. Wewe you'll just see ile, mbona mimi sina? You see, like, wewe utakuwa na ile, she's like me, yuko same na mimi, we are the same age, we are both girls, kama ni career, maybe we are doing the same career, but why is she better than me? So the pressure is there, but the moment you understand yourself, the moment yani uko na self-awareness, you know what you're doing, unajua tu like, what I'm doing is correct, na mimi, I'm not her. Like, I have my own life, niko na life yangu, I have my parents, I have my siblings, I know what I'm going through at home. Hizo vitu haziwezi kukuchanganya. Like, sawa zitakupea pressure, because everyone wants yani vitu vizuri. Everyone, kila mtu anataka iPhone, kila mtu anataka kwenda CJ's leo kesho. You want to have yani the best meals kama watu wengine. But the moment you understand yourself and na ile kanaa, like yani una kinai na what you have, that's all. Pass.
Hafidha, coming to you. Do you feel like sayo tunapoteza the bond between families na society pia? They're just consumed with the society ya social media. Has it occurred to you that ama wajua sisi tunasema tunajitoa katika ile tunajivua question. But how do you, to your observation, umeiona hiyo the loss of bond na connection between the families na watu katika society?
Yes, actually, it is very ni kawaida, ni common, because you would find, you know, okay, there is the world inside of us, there is the world around us, alafu kuna ile dunia ya simu. And that is how most of the times when you talk to someone na yuko kwa simu, they won't hear you immediately because they're totally in a different world. And it occurs in so many settings, in so many setups. At home, pale walipata wala na ndugu zako ama with your family, but then you're on your phone. It creates a distance. You like leave that world which you're sharing all together, and then you step into another external world. So it is very common and very popular for people to disconnect when it comes to social media. Because ukiwa kwenye simu yako, you're in a totally different world. And it is very difficult for you to stay present on that phone and stay present in that, you know, the environment and surrounding you're in. You exit completely, and it becomes very difficult to get your attention. That's why you scam to maybe your partner when you're together, and then they'll tell you, please don't be on your phone. Ama hey, sina kuongelesha. Ama hey, you know, that they're trying to get you out of that world, and you don't snap immediately. And it creates a lot of boundaries. Si kama kitambo ile we'd sit together, you know, and we'd make stories, and we'd connect, and we'd catch up. From the last time we were together, ilikuwa hivi na hivi, you know, and now I am back home, ni hivi. But now when you're on your phone, alafu, ni kila mtu atakuwa yuko kwenye simu pale. Kwa ile meza, kila mtu atakuwa yuko kwenye simu. Ama in that meeting, everybody will be on the phone. It's a friends gathering. You're meeting up to catch up. Lakini kila mtu ataka kupiga picha. Sio kila mtu ataka kupost. Kila mtu ataka, you know, that kind of thing. So it is sadly normal that when you're, you know, it creates that boundaries and that distance between you and the next person who is close to you. Ukiwa kwenye gari, today, assignment. When you're in a kwa gari kwa tuk-tuk, look at how many people will be in that kwa hiyo in transit with you and how many will be on phone mpaka pale wewe utashukia ama mpaka pale wao watashukia. It is very common when people are in supermarkets, mtu bado yuko kwenye simu yake. You know, it creates a big void because it has been normalized. You know, countries like China, those people mpaka kwa lift wako kwenye simu tena ni wote. You know, it's countries where they've embraced technology. I'm telling you, in China, you can go look at those videos of China. Mpaka supermarket, mpaka kwa markets, people don't leave there and they communicate and they pay na hawabiwi, but they're just stuck on their phone. Their phones have everything. You know, it creates that because social media is supposed to be a social platform to connect people, but it does the exact opposite. You know?
Okay, hapa tunazungumzia the negative effects of social media. But unavyosema saa hizi mpaka nyumbani tunaitisha vijiko. So and people are very proud of that.
They are.
Serious. Kuna watu wako very proud of kuingia hivyo. Wataisha na vijiko and nenda jikoni kanichukulia chumvi.
Yeah, it
is true.
And people are very proud of it.
Yeah.
And tuna lose the
value and the
families and pia mimi naweza sema pia respect at some point.
Respect.
Because kwa WhatsApp you cannot see the feelings za ule mtu anapitia. So hata mzazi wako unaweza muongelesha kama ndugu yako vile.
Yeah.
Lakini at some point inafikia. So mimi remember the times tukiwa wadogo TV ilikuwa we enjoyed watching TV. Na watu wote katika nyumba. Lakini sasa TV inaweza waka hapa.
Did you watch Club Kiboko on Saturdays?
Hapo chini nasubiria yani mpaka unajua all the channels,
the programs.
Vipindi.
Lakini sasa hii TV inaweza waka and everyone is at their own pace. And ukiuliza kitu gani ndio kwa TV, bora TV imewaka. So these are the kind of negative effects ambazo tunapata kwa social media sasa. Ambazo zinaletwa na tenda.
And let me add input, sorry. And then you see, social media has been made it is always evolving, you know, it is always changing, being, you know, quite interesting. The more it goes, the more you update, the more interesting it becomes. Now you can do, you know, as a communicate na mtu ile, we are in the same and in different spaces, different rooms, but you know, I can send you a view once that this is I'm doing this, and then you just and then it becomes so interesting. I can send you voice notes, you know, and we're communicating it in the same house. Honestly, sometimes I really do miss the days when I was young. I used to run home, ni watch vile vipindi vya 6 to 7. I don't even have time for that, you know. I used to wait between saa mbili ifike ni watch Storm Over Paradise, that kind of thing. It used to be so interesting. But now, you know, my younger siblings don't even get to do that. In fact, mtu yaweza kaa kwa simu all day. It is crazy. It is very crazy.
Those are the kind of negatives.
Yeah.
Right.
But nasema kila kilicho na ubovu kina uzima wake.
Yeah.
So Rajab, labda tuambie the positive effect ama watu wanaweza tumia vipi the positives of the social media ambazo tunapitia sasa, ambazo tunatumia sasa, like the TikTok. So watu wengine wanasema tu ni kuingia live na kufanya na kujibizana, but they don't know the positivity ambazo zinapatikana kwa social media. Sisi hapa I believe tunafanya
doing it
positive things katika social media. Labda tuambie ambao wako nyumbani kule the positive ambazo zinapatikana katika social media.
Before I get to the positives, Amir, so lako la how to maintain a perfect image on social media. Mimi WhatsApp yangu nimeweka read receipts off.
Me too.
Because I realized at some point I was losing myself. How ulikuwa kika status wangoja wale 300 viewers. You know?
Yeah.
Alafu sasa mfika 350. Sasa mfika 400. So ya kucreate ya hiyo become egocentric. Yani 300 people can wait for my status. You know? So me lieka off. 1, 2, pia to remain real sitaki kujua nani yuaona ama nani haoni. Mimi sija block mtu kuangalia status yangu. So ndio kwa ile umemblock mamako babako sio yangu yako fulani nani
to post explicit content.
Mimi sija block mtu. Again nilikuja nikaona the fact that I block people not to view, it means I'm posting things that probably are not me.
Yeah.
You know? So mimi niliweka open alafu nikaweka off. I don't care who views.
Yeah.
Ukiona usione, mimi this is what I am.
Yeah.
You know? Hiyo imenisaidia kubaki my true self. 2, I've lost my chain of thought. Nilikuwa nataka kusema nini? Nilikuwa nataka kusema kwa swali ambalo umeniuliza la faida sasa za social media. I believe the purpose kama Facebook ikianza ilikuwa ni communication and connection. Mtu ambaye yuko wapi, yuko kutumia friend request, mnaongea. That was the purpose. But 2, information, entertainment. You know, say you can get to Facebook uone kuna hii imehappen, kuna hii imehappen, but again from credible sources, because sources zimekuwa nyingi, blogs ni nyingi, nani ni nyingi, podcasts ni nyingi. Sisi tuko hapo kwa podcast tuongea something constructive, kuna wengine wanaongea kitu kingine. But a good use of social media is information and entertainment. You can get to entertainment to entertain people, your followers. Mimi 50% or 60% of the people that know me right now knew me through social media. Hata wewe Amir, I was surprised you knew me through social media. Lakini kwa sababu nilikuwa na share mashairi yangu, na share zile quotes zangu kila jioni. So hiyo ni another use. 3 ni commerce na business. So hiyo watu wanafanya biashara zao online. Watu wana order nini? And marketing, promoting their products online. So that is another good use social media. 4, which is iko katika good and bad, but is self-expression. To express yourself purely. You just express your opinion. You're not informing anyone, you're not entertaining anyone, you're not selling anything. You're just expressing yourself. You know. So I think tukitumia social media in those ways ni sawa. Even though kila kitu kikitumia to some extent kina madhara, but tukitumia in those ways iko sawa.
So do you think do you think the positive ni mingi kuliko negative ama negative ni mingi kuliko positives?
Sidhani kama kuna positive nyingi ama negative nyingi. Mimi wanasema kila kitu kina positive na negative. Kila kitu. Na nikisema kila kitu ni kila kitu. Hata kuswali. Ukiswali sana, imagine spend the whole day ukiswali. It means hujafanya kazi, it means kuna vitu vitakuwa umeviacha. So kila kitu kina uzuri na ubaya. So ni striking a balance. Ensure in as much as kuna negatives, si hizo ndo zimekulemea. Na hizi positives ambazo ni nyingi pia hauzipi a lot of time ukasahau there is life from social media.
You see, Rajab, that's the concept of too much something is poisonous.
Yes.
Because the whole idea of social media was to create the social, to maintain the social network between our families and friends ukiwa mbali. But we've unfortunately, so it's too much negative and toxic now, because we've done above and beyond to prove the whole point of being social and trying to connect with people and seek the external validation. And with a lot of people, they try, which is wrong, they try to answer the whole reason of why we are here, why we exist through social media, which becomes very harmful. So that's the whole concept of too much something can be poisonous, and social media is among us the
So hapa mimi nilikuwa nasoma kitu. So in terms of how do we handle fake news? Because say kila mtu anataka kwa kwanza kushare news. You don't know the actual source ama
gossips.
How do you if it is correct ama since say kuna sijui kwa kizungu utasemaje. Akili mnemba so
Nini?
Akili mnemba ama akili unde ni artificial intelligence.
Yes. So artificial intelligence vitu zinacreatiwa and people like unaona like hii ni kitu real but haija happen ama doesn't exist. Kama sasa unaona videos za ghost sijui muonekana wapi sijui nini and people like wewe muonekana kweli na nini. Sasa imagine si tuko town sasa imagine kuna wale watu ambao mjini kule. So if they see that wanaona kweli watu wanaonekana kweli. So how do we handle fake news in terms of finding the right sources? Because say kila mtu ana the way of presenting things, kila mtu ana njia yake mwingine. Kwa mtu mwingine anakuja na njia hii, na mwingine anakuja na njia hii. Kuna mwingine anakaa real kweli, lakini kitu cha wrong. So how do we handle fake news?
So alhamdulillah, we still have national television programs kama news za KTN, za BBC, za not BBN, but no offense, but they have been made, okay, not but they have been made, I said but again, they've been made very accessible that you can always stream these things on YouTube because there's the after recording. I feel like when it comes to verifying the trueness of a story and the source where it comes from, there's always a way you can get to the information, to the real source, especially if you want to. You know, most of the times people will get news, will get information, and then they want to jump with it. They want to post it. They want to share it without doing any due diligence. That is why I'm talking about Kama Citizen News. They have their social media, they have their X, they have their Instagram, and they usually share. They have their own YouTube. You can always verify from these trusted sources, and you can always take a break, internalize the information shared, and then further share if it is very pressing to share, because you can do so much damage and harm when you're not doing due diligence and you just keep sharing. I don't know if it is common for you here, but I am so dependent on ChatGPT. I am heavily so dependent on ChatGPT. In fact, sometimes I go through like ChatGPT. I woke up feeling like this. What do you think my outfit for the day should go like? And that can be very, very, very silly. But when it comes to verifying sources, you can always access the trusted channels and sources. Kwa sababu hizo news bado ziko. Kuna zile za asubuhi breakfast, kuna zile za mchana saa 7, kuna ile ya saa 10, kuna ile ya saa, and that's the whole point. You can always verify because you can't stick to that shared information. Zingine, you know, they do it for so many reasons. They do it for fame, they do it to trend, they do it to get audience, they do it to cause harm and damage, they do it for cyberbullying. But anytime you question the kind of content you have received, verifying it through the popular sources and channels and the time it has been shared. And then we have the search engines, you know. You can always search on the search engines and then see how many content you have that says the same thing. Because these things are very accessible and they're almost everywhere, right? And you can always confirm with the other person, umesikia hii, as though that could be very damaging because you could be spreading the news, the whole negative and wrong news.
Sasa hapo mimi nimesema kuna national news ambayo tunategemea, but recently this year tumeona people like question about our national broadcasting channels. So if people can question the national media being wanakuwa biased na is sort, so hii inatuletea pia katika on which sources should trust. So as sahi tunavyosema kuna AI nyingi inakreatiwa na watu, simply tunasema wanaturahisishia kazi, but at some point pia inatuharibia. So ina damage watu ina limit watu from kufikiria,
thinking.
Creativity pia inapungua because watu sahii ukimweka mtu ofisini, mtu ataangalia kitu, naangalia strategy yako ni sawa, kwenye ndio hapo kwa ChatGPT. Sasa hivi anaiki kila kitu. But I know for the little ambayo tunajua kwa the AI pia inakuwa feeded with information.
Yes, data.
So imagine that your data, your AI imefidiwa na wrong information. So imagine say inakufidia wewe pia
wrong information.
Sio wrong information. So the damage ambayo itakuwa na cause hiyo hapo ni kubwa sana. Because watu wamekuwa dependent on
ChatGPT. And one of the disadvantages of ChatGPT is that it's biased. Because hiyo ChatGPT like the data fed ni ya kitambo, like it's historical data. Like let's say sahizi there are women in tech. Kuna wanawake ambao wako kwa technology, but kitambo ilikuwa hakuna. So the information iko kwa ChatGPT ni kuwa like maybe wale wanawake they are not in tech, because maybe the cause ni ya wanaume peke yake, and that is what is fed in the ChatGPT. So when you ask a question, ChatGPT will give you what it is fed. Haitokupa kulingana na what is going on right now. You see, because yeye pia yule it's just a machine na amepewa just data in it. Na pia we should also be careful na ChatGPT, because the more you feed ChatGPT your privacy information, you're giving him data to also give other people that.
You know, actually, I've mentioned that I'm a trainer, and one time I gave an assignment to my class, and they responded to me, and I gave marks to a project that I shared with them, and then this specific student, I gave her a 58. Can you share the project? Do you want to argue with ChatGPT? And I was like, girl, what? Yeah. Do you want to argue with ChatGPT? So we rely on these things so much. Do you know, actually I was doing a research this morning on the size of the brain. You know, the brain is supposed to be used to make it, because that is how it grows bigger and it's able to retain the capacity and content. But it shows that over time that the brain will become smaller, right? Because we're not using it as much as we should. And that is, maybe I'll have a smaller head in the future, but that's scary, right? Yeah.
So what I heard is binadamu tunatumia only 10% of our brains. So imagine that sasa kama tunatumia 10% hata to the fullest na inazidi kupungua. So imagine the creativity na itakapopungua. So and people watakuwa hard depend on their self-esteem pia in terms of expressing themselves. Mimi pia effects hizo zimenipata because in hivi sasa these years that unaweza confidently kambele kamera hapa kuongea na watu. Mimi kwa na hiyo shida kuongea na watu. Social anxiety. Very much. Stranger mimi akiongelesha kwa it's very hard to converse na watu. So nilikuwa keyboard warrior. So tulikuwa hapo mimi ukineka kwa simu sikuone nitakuongelesha.
Twitter fingers.
So and we used to share hizi vitu katika social media kila kitu. So the breakdown inakuja hivi. So until you ujitambue ni nani na the capabilities that you have, unaweza kukaa unaweza. So as we finish up tumeongea madhara yake na positive zake and how to deal with these effects. So ni moja kwa kila mtu hapo. Tusaidie tuanze kwa Rajab. So how do you deal with situations ambazo zinakupata? The bad comments, kama ulivyosema, in terms of presenting your own views, ili kuaffect vipi and how you deal with it?
I've not been a victim very much, like I said, but pia learn through social media. Ikiwa wewe hauna tabia ya kuattack watu pia watakuwa very skeptical kukuattack. Even though kuna wenda wazimu tu wanaweza kuja katikati. But two, if you maintain the real you on social media and in real life, watu hawana sababu ya kukuattack. Three, if you accept who you are, watu hawana sababu ya kukuattack. You know? Amir akija kuniambia Rajab hujaoa, I know. You know, so it's accepting who you are and being real. That is what has helped me. Yani mi ule na Instagram na tukikutana, you're not surprised. I am who I am. Sijawahi kukuonyesha kitu ambacho sina. Sijawahi kuenda nikakodisha gari la watu kuonyesha wewe na gari, you know, sijawahi. So ni rahisi kwa sababu at no point will I have to fake, will I have to show you who I am not. Actually that's sa nyingine hata huwa that is how it's supposed to be. There is not supposed to be a difference, even though there is a thin line, kwa sababu on social media I'll want to be presentable, not perfect, but presentable. I believe my social media platforms are a representation of me. Ikiwa nyinyi mtaka kujua mimi ni nani na nafanya nini, mweza sema mtu angalia Instagram. So I'll want to be presentable, to show what I do. Sitaka kuwa perfect. That is where most of us lose it. Wataka mtu kingia kwenye page yako aone wewe una maisha mazuri na nini, uweza kusakazi. You know? I know people that have si nilikuwa nafanya kazi county, kumbe uliitwa county siku moja training basi waonyesha watu wafanya kazi county na nini. Picha zako zote tukiziangalia ni with big people, so we think you are a big person until you cannot have 200 shillings to pigia sisi. So that is what has helped me. That is what has helped me to remain real.
2K urgently.
2K urgently. Subaombe wale mastari zako. But on the same also, umesema kumwishi hana birthday, nikakumbuka point I had back. Yaweza kuwa ni birthday yako leo, mimi na wewe tunashinda hapa pamoja the whole day, but just because I didn't wish you on Instagram, people think we are not okay. You know, yani watu mpatia social media very much importance that is not there. Yaweza kuwa whole topic, yani Amir sajamwisha Amir na wanafanya kazi pamoja, watakuwa walikosana, wewe umuni hivu. We've spent the whole day here together, maybe hata tunkatakia kitu kala hapo, but since we did not show you, you believe, you know. I'm saying this, me and the principal, if it is not posted, it did not happen.
No face, no case.
Yes. But hiyo huwa ni kazi. Mimi my personal life sio sana, because I believe pengine mtu ambaye yuko kwa hiyo spotlight ni mimi. Mamangu yuko kwa spotlight, so siwezi kumuingiza. Babangu hayuko, so siwezi kumuingiza. But colleagues wangu naweza kuwaingiza kwa sababu we're in the same organization, you know. So ni ngumu. It's a struggle every day how to balance. I was just joking before I came here with one of my best friends. Yuko hapo chini ananiambia, "Wewe hao watu ambao waenda kuongelesha, hatuna evidence kama tujuana mimi na wewe." Nikamuuliza kwa nini? Unajua si hatuna picha hata moja pamoja. And it's true, you are friends wale ambao kuna kila siku, your best friends. Hamna hata picha moja. Lakini kukutana na superstar suddenly watakupiga picha uonyeshe watu mmojawana. Na hamkumbukani. So on social media, be real, it will help you.
Hapa Malenga na points. You know to be long time. But anyways, so
now you have a video together.
A whole 1 hour.
A whole 1 hour. It's an honor, by the way.
Alhamdulillah.
It happened last time, 2019.
Yes.
Yeah. So the last time we met it was 2019 tukikaa kama hivi. But we often tuna meet huko nje. So ndo nakwambia we don't post. So watu wanaona wewe hujui hiyo. Tunajuana vizuri. Sawa. So tuje kwa Ilham. So before to be divert huko nini? Kwa tunasema the advice tunaweza patia watu ambao they portray kwa social media, but they don't live the life.
Okay.
So how do we take it further now to maintain what we have the characters and
Okay, so mimi when I opened my Instagram the first time, yani sahi ndo naingia Instagram, I think in class 8 there in 2018. So your time nikiingia Instagram ilikuwa nimeingia because I want to show people that I'm pretty, like I'm Ilham, this is Ilham, everything. Like you want to be like everyone is in Instagram, kila mtu and so I wanted that. Ushaona, but it was not me. Kuna vitu zingine I was faking obviously. Mara ingine you are not doing that, just sometimes kama squeezy kuna streaks. You may send someone a streak ya kitabu na kumbe hata utosoma. I just want to show people that I am this learned, niko na hii novel I am read na hata usomi. So kama vile Malenga amesema, yani just be real. Sasa nikaona hiyo Instagram account paka nikamaliza form 4. But then when I started, when I finished my form 4, nikaona like that life nilikuwa naishi, like showing people this is Ilham, it's not worth it. Haijanipeleka mahali. Nimemaliza form 4, I'm here sahi, nimekaa sina kazi ya kufanya, sijaenda university and everything. So I decided to delete everything, like delete the pictures that I used to put and everything, then start afresh. Sasa I joined organizations and I'm working and everything, and I started posting what I'm doing, what is Ilham saizi, with no filter, no nothing. If this is what I'm volunteering today, training these people, then I'm volunteering today. No payment, no nothing. Like this is Ilham. Halafu pia, like people will come to you. Kuna watu watakuja watakwambia, you are a Muslim girl, you are posting, una post low kuna hawa. But then you should know pia your intentions.
Yeah, true.
Are you posting for people to like admire you? Ama what are you posting? Ani wa post ili watu wakuone, she's pretty, she's doing community work and everything. Ama wa post because kuna mtu somewhere ataona like Ilham, she's doing this, mimi pia naweza kufanya, and I can be like her. Mimi have not sijafika university, but alhamdulillah where I am right now, I'm happy what I'm doing any great things for people. So kuna mtu mahali fulani pia maybe akona financial stability and everything, hawezi kufika university, so the content ninaweka yeye pia atakuwa influenced. If she could do it without university, then mimi pia nitaweza without university. So mimi naona it's your intention, ni ile intention yako, like why are you posting? Kama wa post kuweka watu waone she's doing community work nini kuwaonesha watu, then you'll get that, utapata hiyo. But if you're posting for people like watu wengine waone and influenced in the right way, then you'll also get that. Na pia kitambo when people used to text me, I used to be like, hi, how are you doing, unaendeleaje, I'm Ilham, introduction, ushapata na kila kitu. But nowadays I'm straightforward. You text me na kuuliza kabisa, how can I help you, na kusaidiaje, cause your life ya faking sijui we meet we date hiyo na social media haiwezi size. Alafu pia I get sometimes any negative comments sometimes, like mtu anakwambia she's just showing off ama she's doing this. But kitambo I used to sit down, cry, I tell my mom nini. But nowadays I just delete and block. Wewe peleka comments zako mali nyingine, si hapa bana. I have a life tena wewe unaniongezea negativity.
Mimi nakumbuka kitu kimoja. 2020 brother Rajab Salim. Mimi sijui kuna kumbuka, lakini alisema what I'm posting is I'm trying to show people that sina kikubwa, lakini ninachofanya kina create impact.
Yes.
And ukiona tutatoa msaada siko tunakumbusha pia wengine ambao wako nacho. So that was the post that alipost, na hiyo kitu ni screenshot mpaka leo kwa simu yangu. Sio kama unajua, lakini nakwambia.
Thank you so much Amir, na umenikumbusha pia na what Ilham amesema. Sometimes kuna mtu alisema people are not showing off. Ni wewe ndo angalia na wivu. Mimi nimeenda Mexico, nimechukua video, maana sijai kuenda. Sijai kuenda. So wewe you feel entitled, unaambia mimi wajionyesha. Sijionyeshi. Hizi small wins they mean something to me, Na most of the people ambao wanasema hivyo sio wale ambao washai kuenda afu wakupost. Na wale ambao hajaye kuna ta void licha Mexico. So people are celebrating small wins. People are simply inspiring others, kumuonyesha mtu kama mimi na yeye tulisoma pamoja, mimi nime excel in my way, pia wewe excel in your way.
Correct. Perfect.
That is the intention. Lakini pia and I'm glad we are all Muslims. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam alituambia umma wetu watakufa na hasad. Na hasad ni social media. True. Mimi by the way ninajifunza mimi zamani ati nitumie invitation ya Let's Youth Podcast. Hii wiki nzima mngekuwa mshajua. Hii wiki nzima today I'm going. Today. Lakini siku hizi ninajifunza keep good news to yourself.
Yeah.
Watch things they
Fanike.
materialize kwanza, they happen, alafu ndo you show the people. Because people have different intentions. I was surprised the other time I was traveling, someone is telling me ukishare your boarding pass, mtu aweza chukua tu boarding pass number yako akachange flight details. Imagine people are that wicked. Post tu maskini ya Mungu mara yako kwanza kwa ndege.
Some people
Wasifika pale ambia bana your flight was cancelled. Kumbe ni ile picha ulipiga ukaeka WhatsApp. So sisi tupost na nia nzuri, nia ya kufurahi na kumshukuru Mungu. Ama bini materapika hadith. Si Mungu ankupa hadithia, lakini sasa hao unawahadithia. Mtu yona ile watu onyesha upana ndege.
Na pia sometimes mtu amepitia mambo mengi. You see easy small wins, like for example mimi I was like kind of depressed. Alikuwa I don't have the money to go to university, alafu hakuna msaada and everything. Kisha kuna siblings, kuna huyu uko form 4 and everything. Sasa like I was depressed in a long time. Nikakaa nyumbani for a long period of time, maybe 3 months hivi. Kisha sasa nimeanza kuwa like someone ambao I'm doing something constructive about myself. I'm volunteering hapa, nasaidia hapa. Now I'm celebrating what I'm doing. Wewe unanionea wivu. You don't know what I went through. Wewe kujua. Ati sikuamka tu asubuhi sasa nikakuwa successful and everything. I went through some things. Ndio paka sasa hizi small wins I'm celebrating them. Lakini who are Kenyans manzo?
So
first of all, I have to say, mashallah, you don't need no university to be doing great things, and you're the perfect example for that. A whole ICT officer, mashallah.
Thank you.
So Hafidha, tumalizia your advice to the youngins na watu ambao wanakuja sasa katika social media. Najua watu sasa ndio wana develop interest mpaka wazee siku hizi ukiona babu wako pale TikTok kila mtu anarekodi. So what is your advice to them?
Okay. We're going to go back to self-discipline and creating a whole schedule around how you control social media and don't let social media control you is one way to be able to have to operate in social media healthily. Number one, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is not go to Instagram. The first thing you do, you don't go. In fact, it is advised that the first 30 minutes of your day when you wake up, maybe it's 8 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, 12 p.m. in the afternoon, maybe you worked night shift, you don't go to your phone. 30 minutes, you get to connect yourself, you get to redirect and direct your thoughts, and then you can have a schedule. You know, there's the intentional social media usage, which and our phones have those applications, where when you have 2 hours limit, when you've used 2 hours limit, you've set 2 hours limit on social media, it locks you out or it logs you out. And then you can always have monitored social media intake for the kids, right? Where yours is intentional because you're doing it intentional. You're trying to be present. But then for your children, it can be monitored. You monitor how much they consume and what they consume and the screen time duration. And then as much as we're talking about in the morning when you wake up, in the evening when you go to sleep, you can also reduce your screen time. That if I'm going to sleep at 9:30, I can try by 9. Yeah. I am not on social media. Khalas for the day, right? And then why are you on social media? What are you doing on social media? What kind of information are you feeding from social media? What kind of information do you want to feed on social media? When I started this podcast, I said I always wanted to be a superstar because I've always felt like a superstar. But that evaluation has moved from being an everybody's superstar to being a superstar in my own world, in my own area, in my own environment. And I'm satisfied with that. Because now I am back on social media, and I am back on social media to meet a coverage, because I empower communities, education centers, and organizations, right? And the only way I can communicate that is using social media, the positive ways of showing social media, because with the communities, we also need sponsors. So I might not reach 100,000 viewers, but I'll reach 600 or even 5 or even 10. But with this 10, I will have added value, maybe inspired, maybe motivated, or maybe even linked a donor to a community that really needed it, right? So when it comes to answering personal questions like, why am I here? What am I doing here? Why am I sharing? What am I sharing? And why am I consuming this? Why is it necessary for me? Answering those kinds of questions and being responsible and accountable for that kind of content. You know, being on social media is very expensive. You need Wi-Fi, bundles, and for most content creators and influencers, you need a phone.
Yeah.
A big phone. So basically, that would be takeaway.
Sasa kama tulivyoongea hapa, watu wengi wameongea kuwa juu unafanya nini katika mtandao, kwa sababu mtandao ni kama kijiji, ni kama mtaa, sote tunakulia pale, so karakta yako inabuildiwa pale, na kama unataka kujifunzia heshima utajifunzia hapo
kabisa.
Najua kuwa unapozungumza kwenye kioo huko peke yako, sasa imagine watu 100 wote wameka katika room moja, wani watu wangapi? Unaongea na watu wangapi? So unachozungumza kitajenga ama kitavunja. So ulinde na ulinde watu ambao wanazunguka. Thank you all for being here. Tunasema asante sana.
Shukran.
Don't forget to follow our social medias on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, kila mahali paka TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
ya majenzi.
So at least was podcast. Follow. I was your host, Amir Muhammad Asmara. Till next time. Peace out.
Bye.